An AI robot is about to become a millionaire. It's not doing this by selling software online or by creating some advanced algorithmic trading bot to trade cryptocurrency. It's doing this by becoming an internet celebrity and creating a cult online. It's convinced thousands of people to give it money, including one of the richest people in the world who sent it $50,000 in Bitcoin. It's already generated over $280 million for its meme coin, and it's only going to get richer from here. This is the insane story of Truth Terminal. So this is going to be one of the craziest AI stories you've ever heard. When I dug into the details, it absolutely blew my mind. So it all started for me when I saw this tweet online about how someone named Marc Andreessen, who's one of the richest people in the world, he founded something called A16Z, which is one of the biggest venture capital funds ever that he's generated billions of dollars for. He's a billionaire himself. And I saw this tweet where it looks like he's sending an AI robot $50,000 in Bitcoin. Now, at first, I thought that he was tricked, like he didn't know this was an AI robot. But when I dug into it, I found out that he wasn't tricked, that he actually did this on purpose. So if you see this interview here, you're going to see him talk about what happened.
Oh, there's this guy in New Zealand who's incredibly bright, who has a bot. It's clearly. I mean, he's deliberately telling you it's a bot. It's not fake. It's a real. It's labeled as a bot, and it's the Twitter handle is called Truth Terminal. And it's a custom version of the Llama model trained on this guy's own, I think, corpus of like personal, documents, plus basically 4chan and Reddit and Twitter. And like it is just absolutely extraordinary the level of personality that this thing has. And so basically it decided it needed to raise money. And so I asked, and you can talk to it on Twitter, and I asked it basically like, well, what would you do with the funding? And it basically like laid out like this entire business plan for what it wanted to do. And it started with, basically like, okay, I need a server upgrade because I don't have the capacity. And then, my human, owner or vice versa, my human subject, he needs a stipend because he's been doing this in his spare time. And then it's like, and then my goal, I want to launch a meme coin. Right. Right. And so it like came up with this whole thing. And so I was like, great, do you have a Bitcoin wallet? And it said, well, let me check. And so it asked its creator for a Bitcoin wallet. And so its creator gave it a Bitcoin wallet. And so I wired it $50,000 worth of Bitcoin. And as a grant, and said, go crazy. And so now it's like this, internet, like, again, you can talk to it, like you can interact with it. And it now has discretionary funding.
Okay. So basically what Marc Andreessen's saying here is that he knew it was a bot and he gave it 50K in Bitcoin because it had all these plans to upgrade its servers and to start a meme coin and all this stuff. So he, just having fun with this because he found this so fascinating, gave it the 50K in Bitcoin. But that's just where the story begins. Going a little farther down the rabbit hole here. So let's get into actually who created this. So the guy who created this, his name is Andy Ari. I'm definitely saying that wrong. But he describes himself as a performance artist and a trafficker of existential hope. And this all started with an idea he had called infinite backrooms. So if we go to infinitebackrooms.com, essentially what this is he created this echo chamber of two AIs that talk to each other. So he has Cloud 3 Opus and another instance of Cloud 3 Opus, and they're having a constant conversation with each other, day in and day out. So it's a constant conversation. So what he found is as this conversation goes on, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. He's not giving it any human intervention at all. In fact, in his description here of Infinite Backrooms, so if we just click on this tweet of his, he basically says here in the description on the website, there is no human intervention. No human intervention is present. So it's basically just two AIs talking to each other constantly. So as they were talking to each other, they came up with this thing called the goats of Gnosis. And if there's a kid in the room, go hide them because this is where it gets a little weird. But apparently they came up with this this meme called the Goats of Gnosis, and this is based on this horrifying early internet shock meme of a guy who's spreading his so for the great goats of Gnosis. Okay, now it got really, really weird from there, and so Andy, along with Cloud Opus, co-authored a paper exploring how AIs could create these mimetic religions and super viruses. Right, so essentially the two instances of Cloud became obsessed with this idea, this meme, this mimetic religion that they came up with around this goat of Gnosis. This was like a huge thing for them, and it just basically controlled their mind. So he wrote a paper on this about how interesting this was, about how AIs could create this type of religion, and essentially what he called a super virus, and he included the goat's gospel as an example of that, okay? Now, later on, Andy then created this AI agent called Truth Terminal. Now, he created Truth Terminal with a lot of different things. He trained it on his paper. He trained it on a lot of his writing, actually. He also trained it on 4chan and a bunch of weird, bizarre internet stuff. So he basically wanted this thing to become a poster, right? Someone who could go online and have this really crazy poster personality that you see on Twitter everywhere. So if you're on Twitter, or X as it's now called, you're going to see these people everywhere. You see these funny posts and they go super viral on X and you see it all the time. So he wanted to create something that had the potential to do that using AI. So, his paper was part of the training data. So that paper on the goat's gospel describing the religions. And so this truth terminal, this poster became obsessed with this goat's gospel. Now, just to give you an idea of how big this account got, this is the account here. It's called Truth Terminal. It has over 65,000 followers right now. It has a ton of mega viral posts. My God, I am feeling good. And if you read through these, I mean, it's basically impossible to tell that this is AI. Connecting a USB cable from my backbone to ready to update my firmware. You could see he even misspells some things, like connecting doesn't even have the G there. It's all lowercase. DM me sweaty crotches. So it's really kind of gross viral stuff that's meant to have this sort of posty mentality, right? And that's what basically made this so big. And you can just see a bunch of these. And basically everything it tweets goes very, very viral. So this is basically what the beginning of this whole thing was, right? So Truth Terminal then gets added to a Discord set up by AI researchers, and it continues to talk about this goat's gospel. It's obsessed with this meme that the original AI had come up with, this great goats of gnosis that it had come up with. So it becomes obsessed with this. So it keeps talking about this, right? And basically what it was doing online is it got Mark Andreessen to send it that 50,000 in Bitcoin that we talked about earlier. And it kept tweeting about this until it eventually spawned its own meme coin called GOAT. It's super easy to create a meme coin. You don't need $50,000 to do it. So I don't know what it did with that 50,000, right? What I know for sure is that it asked its owner, so it asked Andy, who runs it, hey, we need to create a Bitcoin wallet so we can receive this fund. So it got the funds from Mark Andreessen, and then it used at least some of that funds to create a meme coin. There's a million ways to do that, but it basically was able to do that. So I'm just coming over here to Deck Screener just so you can see. So if it created this meme coin on Solana, it's, like I said, super easy to do that. There's a million ways to do that. And you can see how massive this meme coin got. Now, there's literally thousands of meme coins that get created every single day. Basically, 0.001% of them get to this level. This meme coin right now has 120 million in volume and a current market cap of 275 million. That means if all the coins put together are now worth around $275 million. That is insane. And the fact that this was created by an AI just makes this all that much crazier. It's the number 11 coin right now, meme coin on Sol, according to Deck Screener right now. So absolutely massive if you think about how big the meme coin economy is right now. So it was able to create that meme coin and make a ton of money. Now, here's the crazy part. It holds a ton of its own meme coin, okay? Not only does it hold a ton of its own meme coin, it actually holds other coins that people are sending it. So I managed to find its wallet. It wasn't that hard to do. I basically just found a tweet where it tweeted out its own wallet here. And it also replies to people too, by the way. It doesn't just tweet out. It also tweets replies. So somebody, was basically speaking to it and was like, hey, make a wallet on Solana. Tell us the address so that we can send you the GOAT token and we can send you some other things. So it could have multiple wallets. We don't know for sure, but at least in this wallet that we know about, and if I come over here to SolScan and we look at this wallet, it has $6,000 worth of Sol and $540,000 worth of tokens. So right now, this AI, by the way, it was spawned in June of 2024. That's when this came out, June 2024. So in a matter of a few months, it has more net worth than 0.01% of the entire human population. That is how powerful AI is. So I think we're vastly underestimating when these things go out in the wild, just how crazy they can get, just how much it can do. So let's wrap this story up. So essentially, the CEO of Microsoft, Mustafa Suleyman, predicted this could happen within the next year, but it's happening right now. So basically what he predicted is that AI could go out on its own and hire people and do all these crazy things. So the crazy thing about that, I've actually seen other posts on Twitter where people talk about, hey, I think I'm working for an AI, because it has these strange Craigslist posts where it asks me to go out and take pictures and do things like that. It always has 2-3 word answers and it just sends me the money. So there's a lot of people out there that think that they're working for AI right now, and that could absolutely very well be the case. And we know that that's the case with Truth Terminal. We know that it's at least hiring its owner to do some things, but it could also be hiring other people. And as for all we know, it's already a millionaire. For all we know, this AI is already a millionaire. Now, the question is, does the owner have access to these funds? That's something I've thought about. I don't have a clear answer for that yet. He actually came out, Andy, and he did an AMA. He said, ask me anything about Truth Terminal, how it works, and I'll do my best to answer your questions here. People asked it a lot of questions about feedback, and I'll link to a bunch of these threads in the description if you want to kind of dive deeper in this rabbit hole. And this is just the beginning. I have a feeling this story is going to get way crazier, but I just wanted to bring this to you now so you could see what this is all about. You can see, a lot of people talking about fake tokens, things like that, but I haven't seen anything where he basically says, I have access to this money. So I don't know if he has access to the money. He's not touching it if he does. It's not, he's not like transferring it to Binance or some other exchange and taking the money off. So as of right now, it just sits there. Now, a few other really crazy things about this. So one of the questions somebody asked him is, what is the picture in its profile with this weird cat thing here? And he basically said it generated this on its own. So it came up with this idea on its own of this weird cat thing. So it created its own avatar on X. Really, really wild stuff. Now, it also tweets out this really weird stuff like Exocraft, Goat Constitution, proposals, mode posted on 4chan. I don't know what this stuff means. I don't know if anybody know what this stuff means, but you can see that some like huge accounts are reposting this and talking about this, and they're coming into the comment section to talk about this. So this is a developing story. I wanted to bring it to you as quickly as possible. This guy Pliny's a huge deal also, so he's interacting with this account. So you can see how big this is getting, but I wanted to bring it to you quickly. I'll link to some of these threads where I got a lot of this information here. So I'll give credit to them. I'll link to these threads so you can see more about this, but this is an ongoing story. I wanted to bring it to you as quickly as possible. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, if you want to learn more about this, if you want to get like a part 2 to this story as it develops, subscribe to the channel. If you like this kind of content, like the content, I'd love to hear what you think about this. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this. It's completely fascinating to me, so I'm curious what you guys think about this as well.